Hey guys, today in the garden I'm going to be making something that I use quite often. It's probably one of the more important things that I use in the garden, which is a personal insect repellent. I don't have to buy any canned product or aerosols. I can just use something I make, put it in a spray pump bottle, and use it whenever I need it. And it works as well, or maybe even better than some of the canned products. So this is lemon balm. And if you plant a small amount of this, it will just take over an area. So I actually planted it in a raised garden bed several years back, and it has just completely covered the bed. I'll never run out of it, so I can use as much of this as I like. But it smells exactly like citronella. The other ingredient that I use is mint, just average mint, and its growth pattern is exactly the same way. It will take off and just take over an entire bed. So I actually have one bed of the lemon balm and one bed of the mint, and it just does incredibly well. The other two ingredients I'm adding here is just probably going to be an ounce of rubbing alcohol and an ounce of apple cider vinegar, which these two I always have in my house, so I never have to worry about going out and purchasing it. And it works great. I know no mosquito bites, and it keeps flies and also gnats away from me. So I'm going to make this real quick, show you how to do it. It'll be a short video, and then you can try it yourself on your own person, and maybe it'll help you as well. Okay guys, so I've got my blender handy here, my garden blender that I specifically use in the garden. I filled up my spray bottle, not quite to the top, just enough room to leave for the ounce of rubbing alcohol and the ounce of apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to put that into the blender. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to blend is the mint. So I'm just going to break it up, it's basically just a handful, but I'm going to break it into smaller pieces so the blender doesn't have quite so much work to do. Put that in there, stuff it down, and I'll try to remember to edit the volume down because this is going to be loud. Okay, now that's our mint blended, and wow, it is strong. It is so strong that when you take a breath of it, you can feel it in your nasal passages. So we're going to do that first, and I'm going to add some to our bottle, put our funnel in there. Got a fine filter, so hopefully won't have any problems with stopping up a little bit over too much there. And I know this is messy, but I need a larger funnel. And wow, it is very potent smelling. It's very strong. Okay, so we've got to about a half a bottle. Still straining in there. Okay. Now we're going to clean out our strainer and come back and do the same thing with the lemon balm. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lemon balm, do the same thing, break it a little bit harder. I actually need a pair of scissors, but I don't have any handy. I'm just going to pull it apart and put it in the blender. It's already got a little bit of water I put in there. Stuff it down to where the blades are at. And that smells to me exactly like citronella. All right, and we're just going to blend that as well. Just stuff it a little bit close to the bottom because the leaves are so loose there. Okay, let's try again. I think we're going to need a little bit more water. Okay, we've added a little bit more water there. We're going to put our top on, and we're going to do another, and this is on ice crush, so it's really heavy blending. It's it's very potent smell. It smells exactly like citronella candles. Okay, and we're going to carefully pour that in there. We're not going to fill it all the way up because we still have 2 ingredients left to add. Wow, the smell is really strong. Great for repelling mosquitoes. Now, the last 2 ingredients, I'm going to just do 1 ounce. Do 1 ounce rubbing alcohol and 1 ounce of apple cider vinegar. And we're just going to shake well, make sure all the ingredients are evenly mixed. And it's a very strong smell. So it goes on, it's not sticky, and it is a little, you do see a little discoloration there, but if you spray it in a more of a fine mist, you can't hardly see it there. So it's one of my favorite things. And while any mosquito that gets close to you, any biting gnat or fly, they're going to stay away from you because the smell is really strong for them. But for humans, it's not terribly overpowering, but it does work really well. And you don't have to worry about toxic pesticides. This is all natural. 4 ingredients that are all natural, 2 that are directly from the garden. So I encourage you to try that. It works for me. Okay, so that is my homemade insect repellent, and it seems to work really well for me, but maybe not for everyone. I would give you 3 pieces of advice. I would not use this on children because children can be allergic to things that adults don't affect at all. I would spray it on a small area and test it over a 24-hour period and see if you're allergic to the natural ingredients or anything that's in there that you might have an allergic reaction to. And lastly, I would just say if you have any cuts on your skin, don't use it on those areas because it will probably sting quite a bit with the apple cider vinegar. So if this video helped you or you found it interesting, I hope you'll like and subscribe and consider leaving a comment. If you want anything in particular you want to see me talk about or discuss, I'd be glad to do it. Always looking for great ideas from my audience and anyone that might be interested in gardening in general. Have a great day, guys. Thanks a lot.